everybody, it's Cam for Techtainian, and welcome to the Tech Memo Podcast. This is the podcast where we discuss the week in consumer electronics, technology news, gadgets, geekery, whatever we want. This is the week of February 6th, I believe, and I'm also here with my co-host, I guess you could say, Stefan from laptopmemo.com. How you doing?
Great, how are you?
Really good. So, it's been kind of a quiet news week, I guess. Not a lot. Quite a few reviews went up, but not a really big news week. But we still have quite a bit to discuss.
That's right.
So, what do you want to start with? iPad 3 rumors?
It turns out to be that it's like common tech news to talk about Apple news at first, but I think we should start off with paying a tip of the hat to Sony with the Next 7. A few of the tech sites out there are getting a hold of their Next 7 review units, and despite it being crazy expensive, I think they have a lot to say about it.
Now, is it the Next 7 or the NEX 7? I feel like that's a hotly disputed topic. I always thought it was the NEX 7, not the Next 7.
I always call it the Next 7.
The Next?
Or the Next Dash 7, if you're really into that.
Anyway, it doesn't really matter.
Dash 7, yeah.
The NEX, or the Next 7, did get a very good review from the people at The Verge, and most of the other people out there are also reporting just great stuff for it. It's a really good camera. It's really good at shooting video, shooting pictures. It's just crazy expensive. It's like $1,400 with only a small kit lens. So you're paying a lot. Come on though. Like you could, for that price, you can get like a T3i with a really nice metal kit lens.
Well, the thing is that it's the form factor here that we care about.
Yeah, the small design, I guess, right?
That's right.
And, like, it's very attractive looking. Like,
it is extremely attractive looking. It's a Sony.
Like, who doesn't want to hold one of these and just have it, you know? It's just so nice looking. It's got the foldable screen. It has dials everywhere. A couple of the bad things people are saying about it, though, is the EVF, the electronic viewfinder, is not very good, apparently, so it's better just to use the screen. That's a little bit disappointing if you're more of a professional photographer, but...
Indeed. I married my viewfinder. It's so useful.
Yeah, and I know on my T3i, I'm always using the viewfinder. It's almost just all the time, right? So a little bit disappointing. It looks like it has some really, really nice video, which is always nice because obviously for somebody like me that shoots a lot of video, good video quality is very nice to have.
Yeah, I was just kidding about marrying my viewfinder.
Yeah, that's a good disclosure there. So anyway, the NEX 7, if you got the extra money laying around and you want to have a really nice camera, it seems like a pretty great option for you. So, what's next on our topic list?
Well, according to the show notes here, yes, guys, we are actually immersing you into the very technological and uncovered world of the Tech Memo Podcast. We actually are reading the show notes here and reading to you what we have in mind. Nothing has been rehearsed beforehand. We're that awesome.
Yeah, we take the extra time to make show notes. We do not take the extra time to plan what we're going to say.
That's right.
So let's just talk about the Droid Razr Max.
All right, yeah, the Droid Razr Max, I had a chance to try out both devices, both the Droid Razr and the Max, and I can say the Max, I'm willing to sacrifice the thinness of the Razr to get max battery, no pun intended.
Max battery, please don't. But anyway, at CES, I did get my hands on a Droid Razr Max. It's not a thick phone. Like, it's still ridiculously thin, and the 3,300 mAh battery seems like it's worth it to me. But the real big problem is still the fact that it has a horrible Motorola skin on top, and that it's just not that smooth in comparison to, like, Galaxy S2 devices or, like, a Galaxy Nexus, per se.
Indeed. And the Galaxy Nexus is in a whole other caliber because it's running Ice Cream Sandwich.
And I believe Ice Cream Sandwich we're going to get Ice Cream Sandwich on the Droid Razr Max soon.
Yes. Speaking of updates, long-awaited and deserved, I might add, updates to Android devices, HTC has announced today that the Sensation XL and the Sensation XE, by the way, I meant the Sensation 4G earlier, mind you, will be receiving the Ice Cream Sandwich update the end of March, and it will also have a new version of the Sense UI.
Now, a little bit disappointing about this whole... Now, we are getting ICS on these devices, but originally HTC had planned to release Ice Cream Sandwich for a bunch of devices.
That's right.
But now they're like putting all those, they're like, we'll do those later. Let's just do the Sensation and a couple other ones for now. So disappointing if you don't own one of those devices. But really, what else can you expect? It's HTC with their sets. It always takes them a little bit longer to get their OS updates out of the door.
Well, yes, indeed. And anyways, I don't really care about it because I have just about every device on that list, so I'll get an update regardless.
Yeah, it's always nice. Like, HTC Sense, hopefully maybe they've cleaned up the performance a bit, because when I reviewed an HTC Sensation a very long time ago now, it was just, the performance just wasn't top-notch. Even when it was shipping with Gingerbread, it just didn't feel as fast.
I can tell you that by testing both an Amaze 4G and two Sensation 4Gs, long story about how I got two, it was actually T-Mobile PR said, okay, we'll send you one, and HTC said, we'll send you one, and then I didn't have time because I was in school to say no, and then two arrived at my door. Okay, long story short, but I do think the performance has improved because they've been issuing lots of nice little patches to the Sense UI for the past few months.
Yeah, but yeah, they've probably been improving it a lot. But when I originally reviewed it, which was like a long time ago, it was bad, but they've always improved it a little bit. So obviously that's awesome if you're an HTC owner. And from there, do you want to talk about iPad 3 rumors now? I'm going to get you to talk about them. You can't avoid it. We're going to talk about iPad 3
yeah,
rumors.
this guy from Cam the Techtainian.
It's from Techtainian. I am Cam from Techtainian.
No, you're a Canadian Cam from Techtainian. Cam, Canadian from Techtainian.
The point is... What's the point?
The point is that there have been alleged iPad 3 casing photos with an improved GPU, but no quad-core processor, and it's a tad thicker.
Just a tad thicker because LTE, they're going to need a bigger battery to power the LTE chipset and maybe quad-core.
Indeed.
So we've been hearing lots of different reports. Some people say quad-core for sure. Some people say no way quad-core is happening. But the real staples that nobody's really disputing at all is a higher resolution screen, maybe 2 or 4 times the resolution of the current resolution of the iPad, which is, help me out here, 1024 by 768.
That is correct, and if you can't remember that off the top of your head, then I'm removing 1,000 gigabytes.
That is, come on, it's been a while since I haven't even owned an iPad for 6 months now. Anyway.
And I'm holding mine now. Oh yes, here's a great random idea, guys. For the past few months, I've been thinking about a geek point system. You see how you always have these things like Foursquare and Gowalla and things like that where you check into places? Why not we geeks create our own site that focuses on geek points? So essentially, you have this gadget or you know this much about gadget, and you have a respective amount of geek points. You know, it's another time waster, but hey, there are enough of those out there.
Geek points. Well, I was thinking about, the other day, actually, I was just kind of sitting around, and I'm just thinking about meeting people, on the internet. You know, you're a geek, right? But you want to be able to, talk with other geeks. Maybe you've got an idea for a new project, but finding another geek is not always easy. We need a social network for geeks.
Oh god, that would cause the world would end because I guess the servers couldn't take all of it.
No, seriously though, think about it. A social network for geeks. You'd be able to go on there, talk with other people. It would be amazing. Somebody needs to go out, one of you geeks that's listening to this podcast needs to go make a social network for geeks. Yeah. I will be your first user, I promise you.
Don't forget to incorporate geek points. And every time you do something stupid, we remove 1,000 geek points.
And yeah, we're going to take if you do it, we get some credit. It was our idea.
You know we just gave away the idea, right?
Anyway, yeah. Oh, yeah, we did give away the idea. We're coming after you. We're going to lawyer up. Anyway, we're totally off topic now. The iPad 3 is also expected to have an improved GPU. So even more, maybe Infinity Blade 3 will be released, which would be in craziness, blow your mind graphics.
We just got Infinity Blade 2.
Well, Infinity Blade 3, why not? Okay, whatever. Maybe they'll update Infinity Blade 2. Just to show off the super new graphical powers.
Yeah. Or maybe we could just put Crysis 2 on it. Who knows? Just
Crysis
kidding.
2?
Yeah, just kidding. The day that you can pay Crysis 2 on a tablet, I think, is the day that we can live on Mars. I would hope so. And I would hope that's very soon. What am I saying? I'm making no sense. Okay, next topic.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that we'll be on Mars before humans will land on Mars before Crisis 2 runs on a tablet.
God, that's a long time.
That is a big prediction.
I don't want to live anymore.
So, in terms of the release date, or the announcement date, rather, for the iPad 3, we've been hearing all kinds of stuff. First week of March, February 29th, which is kind of like a special extra day because it's a leap year. So normally February 29th does not exist, but some people are saying that's kind of like the first week of March. A lot of people are saying the tagline might be like, let's leap ahead. So, lots of different things. But we're bound to see it within the next 2-3 weeks. So, everybody get excited because the iPad 3 is on the way.
Yes, indeed. And speaking of things that have just arrived today, or recently, or this week, whatever, the Motorola Droid 4. Yes, that's the fourth droid from Motorola, and excluding the Droid Razr Max and the Droid Razr.
And it seems like it will be the third droid that disappoints. Oh, burned.
Yeah, I would say so, because for the past few months even, all of the droids have become a branding scheme rather than these like amazing devices where people go crazy over.
Do you remember the first droid?
The first droid was like
a good device.
It was like
amazing.
The second coming, which I don't even believe in, but to give you a scale.
It was amazing. Like, it didn't even have a 1 gigahertz processor, but it was such a good device. Android 2.0, like, just absolutely awesome phone.
Even though it had a crappy camera.
I feel like they've kind of, and a crappy keyboard too, but I feel like they've kind of thrown away the Droid brand, really made it just release all these devices. Like the Droid 3 was just released like, how many months ago now? Like 3 months ago?
Yeah.
4 months ago? And they just keep releasing these droids over and over. And I reviewed a Droid 3. It was not a bad device. It was just Motorola's skin is so bad.
I reviewed the original Droid and I fell in love with it. I almost didn't send it back to Motorola PR. Disclosure, I did send it back to Motorola PR.
You can't have this phone. You're never getting it back. I love it so much. The original Droid. Anyway, the Droid 4, it's not a bad device. Like, it's good if you need a keyboard. It has a great QWERTY keyboard, apparently. I got to try this out at CES also. Has a good keyboard, very tactile. Pretty nice in the hand.
Who cares about that? What about the 1.2 gigahertz dual-core processor and 4-inch QHD display? Huh?
Okay, the processor speeds on Android don't mean anything. Like,
that's true. Software optimizations are just crap on Android.
Yeah, like, it really doesn't mean anything. It has LTE, so that's a bonus.
Yes, it is.
It does not have a 720p screen, though, and I would expect them to do that.
Oh, it does.
A little bit disappointing. It's only QHD, so that's not fun.
I really hate the word QHD. Isn't that like 960 by 540?
Oh, yeah, it's 960 by 540.
Okay, alright.
It's quarter HD resolution.
Yeah, so we're looking at Sensation and Amaze 4G resolution.
Yeah, the same resolution as Sensation, a bunch of other Motorola devices. The Droid 3 had a QHD screen also.
Oh, I forgot that.
Basically, the only real difference here with the Droid 3 is better keyboard, backlit, like side-lit keyboard, bigger battery, non-removable, 1785 milliamp-hour battery, and maybe LTE. So, very similar to the Droid 3. If you need a QWERTY device, though, it's nice. I believe it also offers world roaming, so that's always nice.
Fantastic.
So if you are an awesome Canadian like me, you can always go to the US, pay probably $700 for this, and come use it in Canada on any choice of your network. So
yeah, that's a bit much.
But it will not work on AT&T or T-Mobile.
Yeah. That's a bummer.
But these Verizon World phones do work on like Canadian networks like Rogers and Bell and TELUS. I've tried. Like, you can take one of those devices, put a Rogers SIM in, and like it works totally fully works.
Yeah, but as we know, droids are only for Americans in New York, like me. They're not for Canadians like you. So yeah, you only get milestones.
No, what the Canadians get is... Okay, we're going to get into a bigger conversation here about the way the Canadian mobile market works. Canadians always get European devices. For example, the Sony Ericsson... Well, just Sony now because Ericsson's gone. The Ion, which will be released soon for AT&T. They're a US exclusive. we are going to get the Xperia S, the cooler one. We get all the European devices. Our carriers just cherry pick from the European devices, whereas you guys get all these specialized Motorola, just horrible, crazy skin devices.
Well, the advantage we have is that don't you guys have 3-year contracts instead?
Yes, we have 3-year contracts, and I know it's the stupidest thing.
Yeah, so you're condemned for life. Ha!
Yeah, we are. It's really, really bad. Like, 3-year contracts are horrible. But, okay, I can counter. We do have Wind Mobile and a bunch of other small carriers. $30 a month, unlimited data, international texting, North American calling, and unlimited data. Now, I'm not being paid by Wind Mobile, but $30 a month? Like, I wish I could get that. They don't offer coverage in my area, so you have crap coverage. But seriously, though, amazing. Like, think of it like T-Mobile, but supersized and even better.
Yawn. Okay, we'll talk about the Uzi Protector with Swiss Movement and Tritium. Okay, if you're wondering what the heck that is, it's not the gun.
It is not a gun.
It
we
is
do not talk about guns on this podcast.
With exception to certain video games, but whatever. So this is actually a chronograph, and if you still don't know what that is, then pity for you, that's a watch.
You can just take this. I don't even want to talk about a watch. You just do the whole thing.
Alright, yeah, watches are cool. True geeks wear watches. On the left side, not the right, by the way. So now, anyways, the Swiss Uzi Tritium watch, well, what it is that it uses a radioactive isotope of hydrogen, which is dubbed tritium, and it's also a gas. It's a gaseous form of radioactive isotope of hydrogen. Okay, whatever. What it is that it contains 1 proton and 2 neutrons, and what this means is that when it's put through beta decay, and when it interacts with a phosphor material, a fluorescent light is created. In other words, if you bring it out into sunlight, it will actually charge itself like a solar panel, and when you come inside, it will glow in the dark. And this whole process is called radioluminescence, or I hope I said that right. But anyways, I reviewed...
It's magic. It's a magical watch.
Okay, never mind. But what it is that I had a chance to review this thanks to my friends at Think Geek, and it's really cool. The tritium has to be replaced every 20 years, and it's radioactive, but it's sealed, so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah,
and
just don't break your watch.
Yeah,
if you break your watch, you might die of radioactive poisoning.
Well, yes, and then also it's water resistant to 200 meters, and the battery lasts 3 years.
So diving below 200 meters may also poison you with radioactivity.
You're not funny.
I am.
All right.
Let's move on from this crazy watch.
No.
We're going to talk about technology because this is the podcast.
No, it does contain valid technology. It has Swiss movement, which is epic. See, Swiss movement allows it to be a lot smoother, and it's a lot cooler to use. But and it's worth the money. It's $100. Like most watches that get you these kinds of stuff are like $200-$300, $1,000, $200,000.
Since you got to do your wearable technology, you get to talk about your wearable technology watch. I want to talk about Google heads-up display eyeglasses.
You know, if Google were to ever make eyeglasses, I think Apple would sue them because they're eyeglasses and they're for your eyes.
You're not funny.
You're not funny either. Okay, now.
Okay, anyway, so Google, I don't know if we heard a couple months ago, Google, we heard some rumors that Google was going to be releasing eyeglasses. They're working on eyeglasses that you put on. They have a heads-up display. They have Google goggles built in so you can scan stuff just by looking at it. They have Android notifications.
Yay, Crisis 2 in real life.
Augmented reality. Just this crazy futuristic idea of eyeglasses. And we heard more about it, that apparently these new eyeglasses, we're going to have a public beta test coming soon.
Oh, sweet, yes.
Google, send one to me, please. Thank you, Google.
Thank you, Google. Yes, send one to me first, because I'm in New York and he's in Canada.
Yeah, you're probably going to get it first. Anyway, just like Google Music. Google Music still doesn't work in Canada. Anyway.
Yay.
These eyeglasses look very, very cool. And
no offense to my Canadian readers, by the way, but carry on.
He's offending all his Canadian readers. If you're a Canadian reader, you should stop reading Laptop Memo right now.
If you're an American reader, then you probably don't even listen to whatever the Techtainian has to say on YouTube. Moving on.
Google eyeglasses are amazing. That's all we have to say about this.
We haven't even seen a render. We haven't even seen a leaked version of it. We haven't even seen it at the FCC. How can you say they're awesome?
Just imagine it. I saw this, in like 2004, I watched this movie called Spy Kids, where...
Oh my god.
No, I got a reference, I'm gonna pull this back, let me do it. So I watched this movie called Spy Kids, like 2004 probably. Yeah. They're in this theme park, they whip out their they whip out their like heads-up display eyeglasses, they put them on, it automatically scans this like roller coaster, this person. Just imagine being able to do that. How cool would that be? You know it. You know how cool that would be.
Okay, that would be cool. It would be
amazing.
Especially cool, like, if you could do the stuff you do in Crisis 2, like, analyze certain things and...
Like Ezio Vision from, like, Assassin's Creed.
Did you just call it Ezio Vision? It's Eagle Vision, you ridiculous sod.
It's called Ezio Vision. I don't care.
It's not called Ezio Vision. I'm kidding you. I'm not kidding.
Is it called Ezio? What's it called? Eagle Vision?
It's called Eagle Vision or Eagle Sense.
Okay, whatever. Ezio Vision is cool enough. Anyway, I'm just offended, Stefan. But let's talk about
Mass Effect 3.
No, because that's not on the topic list. Let's talk about Mobile World Congress. So MWC is coming up soon in Barcelona, Spain. Neither of us are going, sad face, but maybe next year we should both go to MWC next year. Should that be agreed upon?
Yeah, actually one of the journalists usually hold a party in Barcelona every year, and he keeps on inviting me, and he says, we keep on saving you your spot and you never come, and I'm like, damn it!
Yeah, we both need to go to MWC next year, and you need to go to CES next year, because I was all by myself at CES.
Yeah, I keep on going to the CES previews, but I never go to CES. I never make the full strength.
Anyway, let's talk about we're going to bring this back. So MWC, it's from the 27th of February to the 1st of March, Barcelona, Spain. So many devices that we're hearing about. We're hearing about quad-core and phones. We're hearing about Windows Phone stuff. So we have 3 devices to talk about. First, the LG Fantasy, which is a device that got leaked over the weekend. Yesterday.
Is this the LG Miracle or the LG Fantasy?
This is the Fantasy we're talking about right now.
Oh my god, I can't understand these names. I can never identify them correctly because they have all these crazy names.
I don't know. So the LG Fantasy has a 5-megapixel camera. Looks like it has what kind of screen do we have here? 4-inch WVGA, so pretty low resolution, but it is one of those Nova screens with the really high blacks. Scorpion CPU, so this looks like more of the lower-end Windows Phone, like more of a last year's device, not really like a 2012 device. But it is going to be super, super thin, like in the 7 millimeters, I think. So, LG Fantasy looks pretty awesome. We also have the HTC Endeavor, which is HTC's big new device. I'm not sure if the Endeavor is the same device as the Edge, or I'm pretty sure it is, but it looks awesome. 4.7-inch 720p screen, 8-megapixel camera, 1 gig of RAM, quad-core processor, quad-band HSPA+.
Okay, we get the idea. It has a lot of specs.
HTC Sense, Beats Audio, what you want. It's got everything, basically.
Does it have ice cream sandwich?
I'm pretty sure it will. We don't actually have anything on the ICS or not yet. I really hope it does have ICS.
Alright, then here's something that will have ICS. This is an unidentified, HTC phone which has Android 4.0 and a Verizon LTE logo. So you know it's awesome. It also looks like the incredible...
Piece of cheap plastic. It looks like a piece of cheap plastic.
Okay, it looks like a really nice, expensive piece of plastic, which is better than the one I'm sure you get in the supermarket. Now, back to the point. It seems like it has a 1.2 gigahertz dual-core processor, 1 gig of RAM, 8-megapixel rear-facing, front-facing VGA. It also has 4 buttons instead of the standard 3, meaning that this may be a prototype or whatever. And it may launch on the gingerbread and get ice cream sandwich later. Who knows? But it looks really impressive. Besides the plasticky part, it may just be the flash. taken by Mr. Blurry Cam. But it looks reminiscent of the Incredible because of the styling on the back. So it may be the long-awaited Incredible 3, in case anyone was waiting for another Incredible device.
Yeah. I don't know if... Is this the HTC Ville? Have you heard about the HTC Ville? No, this is a different one.
I'm tired of all these code names. I can't keep up.
The HTC Ville is another HTC phone that is basically going to be a Sensation, same specs as an HTC Sensation, but only 7mm thick. So that's going to be like a kind of mid-range device. So can you believe it that a year ago, the highest-end device is now a mid-range device, but thinner? Like, this is where smartphones are at. So if you want an HTC Sensation, but only 7mm thick, the HTC Ville is for you. So apparently, MWC is going to be an absolute HTC extravaganza. There's going to be so much HTC stuff there.
I remember the year that the HTC Legend was launched. That was really impressive.
HTC Legend?
Yes, the HTC Legend was sort of the hot topic of the time because it...
That was an awesome phone. It was really awesome nice in there. Here's a little bit of Techtainian history for you. The HTC Legend was the first device I ever reviewed. And it was actually, I borrowed it from my grandmother.
Okay, no one cares. More interestingly...
it was an awesome phone.
More interestingly, this is some laptop memo / Gizmodo history. Kat Hannaford was one of the first tech journalists to actually buy one and make it her main device because she fell in love with the evaluation unit.
It was just such a metal. It was like metal and just really nice. And that was back in the days when you could turn off HTC's launcher in the device without even installing anything. You could go back to the stock Android launcher. Do you remember that?
Good old. No, I don't because I never did that. But those were the good old days indeed. And as far as I know, it used how can I say, a unibody design like the MacBooks do.
Yeah, it was a nice device. That was also the days of the HTC Desire, the Nexus 1. We're really going back now.
Yeah, we're going way too back.
Anyway, basically the real point here is that MWC is going to have tons of devices and your phone is vibrating on your desk.
Yeah, I would say actually more than one phone. A Focus Flash and a Maze 4G and a Sensation 4G and another phone of which I shall not name.
My Galaxy Nexus was just vibrating, and Galaxy Nexus kills all of those devices. Just murders them all.
Was that necessary?
Absolutely. So anyway, MWC is going to have tons of devices. We'll be sure to do up-to-date MWC podcasts for all you guys. But before we say adios, amigos, which I'm sure you loved when I said that last week.
Oh, God.
We're going to talk about 3 epic things, your favorite name for 3 things that are epic.
You know what? I'm going to get Chelsea Bennett, which is my correspondent in the nearby area. Don't come up with a comeback about this one. Yeah. Chelsea is off limits. Last time I spoke about Chelsea in the professional sector of Twitter, as I'd like to say, where we tech journalists all chat, I got a bunch of...
Twitter is where tech journalists get all unprofessional.
Okay, yeah. That too. But it was like, all of a sudden, Joanna Stern was like, "Ah," when she saw a picture of me and her. But that's not the point here. The point is
Joanna Stern left The Verge.
Well, yeah, that is one thing. That is...
I don't know, are we going to go all meta on this podcast? Are we going to start talking about, like, other publications? Is it going to be like a meta podcast? I don't know.
Are we going to break the fourth wall? Oh my god, we cannot do such a thing. But best of luck to her. She has amazing articles. She's just amazing. I had the opportunity to meet her more than once in real life, I might add. At several press events, CES. And she's epic. She's epic to work around and epic to work with if you have the chance.
So best of luck for her at ABC News, and I'm sure that the Verge team, the Dream Team, will be able to do fine without her. Because there are many, many awesome people there that I've had many awesome privileges of talking to, and over Twitter and in real life. So.
Yeah, I met a lot of the guys from The Verge, but the thing is that no one beats the Queen of Laptops. And that being said, can we please talk about Mass Effect 3?
We're going to talk Mass Effect. That's on the topic list?
No, it's not.
Okay, listen, you're going out on the limb. You take the bull by its horns. I don't know what you're talking about.
Alright, Mass Effect 3 is awesome, and it looks awesome, and when it releases, it will be awesome. Okay, now on to something on the topic list. I know that was incredibly vague, but you'll hear about that next week.
Very vague. Next week we'll hear about it. Next week you guys have a very special treat because I will have a PlayStation Vita because I have said the PS Vita is so awesome. I took my own personal monies and I went and I pre-ordered.
Did you just say monies?
Monies, I did, and I've got some special receipts here that I've used to pre-order my PS Vita.
No one cares about your receipts. We only care to see it online.
On Wednesday, I'll be getting my PS Vita, and I will be posting unboxing, hands-on, and I will be getting Uncharted Golden Abyss. So expect awesome Uncharted footage and such.
In other words, expect not to hear from Cam from Cam the Techtainian, because he will be immersed in his brand new PlayStation Vita.
I'll be so immersed, but I'll still post videos for you guys. And next week on the podcast, which will be on Friday, because we keep doing it on Saturday, even though it's supposed to be on Friday.
Oh my god, stop calling me. I'm always getting these phone calls. From PR agents sometimes, and then just from peoples. Or as I like to call them, sheeple. But now, that being said, no offense, sheeple of the world.
Let's finally get to our 3 epic things.
You're no fun.
No, I know, I'm way too fun. That's the best name ever. You're gonna learn to love it. So, 3 epic things, Skyrim, take it away.
Yeah, here's something I found. So, as you may or may not know, I am a Skyrim player. I never used to love RPGs until I plunked down $50-$60 for Skyrim on PC, and I'm running it on max settings all the time, and I love it. I'm officially a rank 40 Nord, I'm a male, I weigh 200 pounds, and I almost know every shout of the game. And I have almost like all the high-level equipment, expert-level spells, you name it, I have it. Oh yes, I have the dragon armor as well, but no matter. The idea here is that Bethesda had their Game Jam conference, which is when all branches of Bethesda come together and do one really cool epic jam, thus a game jam, because they are a game developer after all. And in this case, they displayed a video which is all of the stuff that could possibly be in Skyrim and stuff they thought up of in a week. That may include riding dragons, spears, kill cam magic, seeing through walls as an assassin, fire air... Shut
This is a Corridor Digital reference. If you watch Corridor Digital's YouTube channel, an amazing channel, and you watch one of their new videos called Fuss Roda, where they push people off cliffs by saying Fuss Roda, then you will notice that in the Skyrim Game Jam, one of the guys says Fuss Roda, and the guy goes flying off the cliff. So, yeah.
Can I please say 2 things? 1, that was incredibly unprofessional. 2, it's not Fuss Roda. It's
Fuss Roda.
It's Foos Roda.
Foos Roda.
Okay, why don't you go get the game, go to the Greybeard on the mountain, and ask him how it's said. He will actually teach you, and will mention that it's Foos Roda. Now, that being said, the video is really epic. They remixed the song Hello, and to match the chants...
Hello!
To match the chants of the Skyrim theme, and it's just amazing. That also includes like things like seasonal foliage and stuff like that. You guys are gonna enjoy it, and it'll be in the show notes when this gets posted on our respective sites. Techtainian for Cam, and Laptop Memo for Stefan.
Exactly. As well as...
The head crab towel from Reddit. I found this on Reddit. One of those times I was just chilling out on Reddit. So essentially, this random guy in some random place went to some random Hilton, and he put in the special request section, fold a head crab towel. And then he went into his room and found the towels folded like head crabs. And if you are ignorant or unaware of the fact that in Half-Life, one of the most annoying enemies are head crabs, then you shall know that head crabs are these, well, basically they're out to kill you, and they jump on you, and they're very hard to kill if you're not careful. So, yeah, that's that. But, I think you can take it away, Cam, with this very IQ sapping... Just take it away. I can't do this.
I don't know if any of you guys have been following a movie called Iron Sky for the past 4 or so years. There's been some people in Finland working on this movie for about $8 million, which is pretty low for like a Hollywood-style movie. And they finally released a theatrical trailer. Oh my gosh, Nazis from the moon.
Retarded.
That's all I have to say. Nazis from the moon. Just watch the trailer. It's in the description. It's just like all these amazing graphics, and there's like jokes about Sarah Palin, and
Sarah Palin is the United States president. No wonder there are Nazis on the dark side of the moon. Like,
and then there's like this gun coming out of like the International Space Station, and there's just, if you want to watch something absolutely crazy, watch this trailer. I will be going to the movie when it comes out. Like, I am excited for this crazy, ridiculous movie. So
I am disappointed in my faith in humanity and our ideas as a
So I think that's all we have for this week. I hope you've enjoyed our podcast.
I hope
the
you
Tech
enjoyed
Memo
our
Podcast.
antics and our podcast, and hopefully you'll be able to understand that this guy, Cam, the Techtainian, I like to put emphasis on the Techtainian because Techtainian is supposed to be some guy that's
I'm
Canadian.
Cam from Techtainian. I'm not the Techtainian.
Okay, whatever, we'll drop the subject. But that being said, I would say that Stefan from Laptop Memo and Cam from Techtainian wish you a very happy weekend. Hopefully this comes out before the weekend is over, because it should. And that all being said, keep up on Laptop Memo News, where you'll see this week on Laptop Memo, our weekly roundabout of everything that's happened in the week, including things not mentioned on the podcast. And
Exactly.
That being said, I guess that's it.
But there's a couple more things we have to say. First of all, if any of you are wondering, the Tech Memo name, the Tech Memo Podcast, that is a combination of both of our names. It is Techtainian, so we took the first 4 letters, Tech, and then Memo is obviously Laptop Memo. So we just thought we'd let you guys know.
Yeah, anyone
the
with
Tech
an IQ
Memo
of
Podcast.
over 20, I think, could eventually figure that out.
Eventually, but now you know right now.
True, now you know.
So, Techtainian is TechTainian.net. Laptop Memo is laptopmemo.com. LAPT. Okay, you know how to spell Laptop Memo. It's also Techtainian.net. Cough, cough. And laptopmemo.com. I am Super C Geek on Twitter, which is Super C, the letter C, Geek. No capitals, just Super C Geek. You are on Twitter. What are you on Twitter?
I am, yeah. It's a problem. I have to change this anyway. But I'm Stefan Etienne on Laptop. Oh my gosh. Stefan Etienne on Twitter, yeah.
Stefan the Laptop Memo. I'm going to start calling you Stefan the Laptop Memo.
No, that doesn't sound cool, because that's not an adequate way of showing payback. It's not. Cam the Techtainian sounds fine. Stefan the Laptop Memo makes me look like this cheesy Windows character that appears in the corner of Microsoft Word.
Clippy.
Yeah, Clippy. Whatever happened to Clippy? I think they killed him.
I think Clippy was always a horrible, ugly design. That's what I think happened to Clippy.
You are an insult to humanity, Clippy.
Okay, I just want to rant. I just want to rant for a second. I don't know, like this. We're going crazy now. I'm going to rant about Windows XP search. Have you ever tried to search for something in Windows XP?
No, because that's impossible.
It's one of the most horrible experiences on planet Earth.
Why are you talking about Windows XP? We're waiting for Windows 8, man. Are you from the 70s?
Okay, anyway, we're going to do this. We're not going to rant right now. Anyway, Camp for Techtainian, adios amigos. See you guys next week, or in the next video if you're following me on YouTube, which you should be. That's it.
Yep, that's it.
Adios amigos.
See you from Manhattan.
you for enjoying this Techtainian and Laptop Memo production.
Yeah,